Hello and welcome to your practice today. My name's Kerry Curson if you're new to my videos. As today's practice is only 15 minutes, we'll just take a couple of minutes at the top of our mat, starting in mountain pose to begin. So just a neutral standing position, feet hip width apart, softening the shoulders, allow the eyes to close. And just taking some time here to slow and deepen your breath. Inhaling into the tummy and taking the breath right up to the collarbones, and exhaling, release. And then bringing the hands to prayer at the center of the chest, we'll prepare for just a little warming up with some sun salutations. As you inhale, stretch the arms up overhead. Exhaling, hands come through to prayer at the center of the chest. Breathing in, circle the arms out wide and reach them up high. Exhale, hands to prayer. Just moving in time with your breath, inhaling, reaching up. Exhale, leaning over to the right, holding on to the left wrist, stretching sideways, and then inhale your way to center. Change your grip and lean over to the left. Let the inhale bring you back to center, and as you exhale, folding forward, pivot from the hips, soften the knees, bend if you need to. From here, inhale, step the left foot to the back of the mat, lift the chest. And as you exhale, stepping your way into plank pose, drop the knees and lower chest and chin to the floor for 8-point pose. Inhale your way into cobra, so you scoop the tailbone forward and lift the chest. Exhale gently back to your first downward dog. Taking a couple of breaths here. Take another 2 deep breaths. And then when you're ready, using an inhale breath, step the right foot forward between the hands and lower the back knee. Exhale, step your way to your forward bend. And then as you inhale, slowly start to rise up, stretch tall. And exhale, pivot forward again. Inhaling, stepping the other foot to the back of your mat. Exhale your way to plank pose. Inhale at the top and then exhale, lower knees, chest and chin. So you get this S shape through the body. Breathing into cobra pose. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Pushing the hips back, and as you inhale, stepping the left foot forward between the hands. Exhale, stepping in. Inhaling to reach all the way up and stretch. And exhale, hands to prayer at the center of the chest. So that's one round. Inhale, circle the arms up, lean back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale to step to the back of your mat. And exhale to plank pose, lower knees, chest and chin. Inhale, scooping through into cobra pose. Exhale, your hips up and back into downward dog. Inhale, stepping the right foot forward. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale to rise up and stretch the arms up overhead. Exhale, folding forward. Breathing in, step the left foot back. Exhale to plank pose. Stop for the inhale breath if you need to, so you can lower on the exhale to knees, chest and chin. Breathing in Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Exhale, hips up and back to downward dog. Inhale, left foot comes forward, lifting the chest. Exhale, right foot steps in. Inhaling to rise up, arching back at the top. Keep the legs strong. Exhale, hands come down to prayer. Coming into chair pose, so sit the hips back, reach the arms up overhead. We'll come into our first twist. So twisting from the tummy, hooking the left elbow over the right knee if you can, but if it doesn't quite reach, just hover the elbow above the knee, that's fine. Breathing deeply, keep the knees in line with each other, so glance down at your knees if you can. That keeps the hips square. Use an inhale, lift the chest, turn back to center, and then exhale, twist to the other side. So if it's comfy, the right elbow hooks the left knee, pressing the palms together. Shrug the left shoulder back as you squeeze the tummy muscles to bring you into your own deepest twist. Let an in-breath bring you back to center, and then exhale to fold forward. Inhale, lift the chest halfway up and lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale fully as you fold in. Stepping the left foot to the back of your mat and lift the chest. Exhaling to downward facing dog. Inhale, round and roll forward into plank pose. Drop the knees if you need to. Lower through like a press up to chaturanga. And then inhale your way into upward facing dog. So thighs stay strong, lifting up from the floor. And then hips send you back to downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here. This time as you inhale, kick the right heel to the sky behind you and then bend the knee, opening the hips. So as if you're trying to kick the left bum cheek with your right heel. So you start to get a nice deep stretch down the right side of the body. Then kick the heel back once more, lengthening, and step the right foot forward. Coming into another twist, so keep the left hand down and reach the right arm towards the ceiling. Again, turning from the tummy muscles, gazing up towards the top hand. Taking just a couple more breaths here. And then reframe the front foot. Rock the weight forward into that front leg and kick the left heel high. And keep lifting that back leg as high as you can. Again, if you're tight in the hamstrings, keep a bend in your standing knee. From here, step the foot down and find your way back into chair pose. Bend the knees, sink the hips and sweep the arms forward and up. On an exhale breath, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale again, stepping back into your lunge. Other foot joins to meet you in downward facing dog. Inhale, roll through the spine forward into plank pose. Knees can come down for support as you lower to chaturanga. Inhaling into cobra or upward facing dog. Roll the shoulders back and lift the chest. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, kick the left heel high and then turn the hip bone to face that side wall as if you're trying to kick the right bum cheek with your left heel. Re-extend the leg behind you, inhaling, and this time on an exhale breath, step the left foot forward between your hands. Lifting the chest as you turn into your twist so the left arm reaches up. As long as it's comfortable on your neck, looking up towards the top hand. And again, twisting from the tummy, try to keep the hips relatively still here. So you're just moving from the middle of your body. Rock the weight forward into that front leg and kick the right heel towards the ceiling. So working the strength of that back leg as you kick it high. And you could turn it into a little balance by wrapping the hands around the standing leg if you wanted to. Stepping into your forward fold when you're ready, finding your way back to chair pose very briefly, and then coming to stand at Tadasana, hands to prayer. So I'm just turning to face you now for our standing balance sequence, just so that you can see me better. So from here, we're going to start with weight into your right foot and start to pick the left knee up. So to modify this, you can just take hold of your left knee with your left hand. Otherwise, you can wrap your peace fingers around the big toe and extend the leg, or use a strap wrapped around the foot. So turning this then into a twist, either bringing your opposite hand to a bent knee if you've modified, or to the outside edge of your foot. Turning from the tummy, gazing over the back shoulder and extending the back arm to reach behind you if you feel steady enough here. Again, let the twist come from your tummy. And then I'm turning again, so I'm sideways now for warrior 3. So you can step out or flow that front leg out behind you, coming into a little airplane variation with the arms either side of you. And then lower the hands to the floor, back into a standing split very briefly. Again, you can wrap the hands around your standing calf if you wanted to make this more of a challenging balance. And now you can either step your way back through plank and lower through your vinyasa, or try a little hop or a jump. So if you want a little handstand hop your way back, you have that option. And we'll meet together in downward facing dog for a couple of breaths, resting. Hips up and back, release the neck muscles, allow the head to just dangle here. Keeping the lower belly engaged as you press the chest back. And so this time to come into our standing balances on the other foot, just walking the hands back to your feet for your forward bend. And we'll hold this just a couple more breaths this time. And then from here, just widening your feet. So just mat width or a little bit wider. We'll twist again. So bringing your right hand between the feet. And then you can wrap your left arm behind you. And if you can reach, grabbing the top edge of your right thigh. and then bend your right knee, and it really deepens this nice twisty feeling here. And then unravel, preparing to switch sides. So left hand comes to the floor or a block or fingertips if you can't quite reach, or a shin, modifying how you need to. And then the right arm can wrap behind your back and either just stay with the forearm resting against the back, or if the fingertips can just grab for the top of the left thigh, do that. So it just deepens the stretch on the right shoulder, bending into the left knee, again to intensify the stretch. Release this and roll up slowly through the spine, bone by bone, so you come to stand. Excuse me. So again, I'm coming to face you guys just so that you can see me better for the posture. So big toe balance, you're either holding on to your knee as you bring your weight into your left foot, or peace fingers wrap around the inner edge of your big toe. If the grip is a problem, you can just hold the foot. So if you're really quite open in your hamstrings here, pull the arm back into its socket. So you're trying to kind of plug the shoulder in and shrug it back as you hold here. And then as you change your grip to twist, you're either bringing the opposite hand to the outside of the foot or your bent knee if you've modified. Turning from the tummy, gazing over the back shoulder. Back hand can remain on the hip, or to deepen the stretch across the chest, you can extend that arm behind you. So again, we're going into warrior 3. I'm turning sideways again, but you guys can stay as you are as you start to bring the chest forward and then kick that front leg out behind you. Flex or point that back foot so that you're keeping that back thigh really strong. There's intention then throughout the entirety of the pose as you start to bring the hands down to the floor, kick the back heel towards the ceiling for your standing split. Option to make this more of a balance if you wish to. So hands can start to wrap around your standing calf. So harder than it sounds. So then either stepping your way back through plank to chaturanga, or you can try a little kick or a jump back if you're used to jumping back into chaturanga. So take what you need today. Jumping is obviously more intense and stepping less so. Downward dog here, and then breathing in, kick the right heel high, and this time as you exhale, just stepping the foot forward, coming back into a little standing split, preparing for our final twist for the day. So left hand down as the right arm extends for evolved half moon pose. Couple of breaths. And then to transition, just bending that back knee, and if you can, stepping it down to the floor to the outside of your standing heel. So then coming into a little seated hip stretch here. To modify this, you can extend your bottom leg if it's not comfortable to have the knees kind of stacking one upon the other. Bringing then your right hand to just below the skull or at the nape of your neck, and then you can use the left hand to push down on the elbow for a little twist, a little stretch, and then clasping the hands behind you, roll the shoulders back. And then from here, finding your way back to downward facing dog. Last half. Inhale your way forward to plank pose, exhaling through chaturanga, so that half press up point. Inhale your way into your chosen back bend. Exhale to downward dog. Inhale, left foot kicks out behind you. Exhaling to step through, rock the weight forward. Brief standing split into revolved half moon pose. Right hand stays to the floor or a block. Left arm extends up towards the ceiling. If there's any tension in the neck, to take the gaze up. You can keep the gaze more neutral to the side of the room or even to the ground if you're feeling a bit wobbly. And then again, we're going to try and step that back knee to the outside edge of your standing heel. And then stacking the knees here, or you can extend the bottom leg out in front of you, coming into that little tricep stretch once more. So bending the left elbow behind you, and the right hand can just gently press it backwards to stretch here. Keep the lower ribs pulling in so you don't kind of jut into a back bend as you pull into that stretch. Staying with the breath. And again, interlacing the hands behind your back, shrug the shoulders back, lifting the chest. So 15 minutes isn't a long time to practice, but it's enough to hopefully clear out some of the tensions that you hold. And we'll just start to round up our practice now with some final stretches, extending both legs forward now. And for our last little strength pose, if you have any more energy left, you can just bring your hands just forward of your hips, pressing down into the floor to lift the hips up, and then feel the lower tummy muscles strongly engaged as you do that. Lower the hips back down and we'll prepare for Janu Shirshasana. So bending your left foot in, kind of like a seated tree pose. Left foot presses against the inside of your extended right thigh. And then inhale, lift up and lengthen through the chest. Exhaling to start to fold forward. So here again, to modify, you can hold on to your shin. And rather than just kind of really curving forward into this, if you're quite tight in the hamstring, keep the chest really nice and proud all the way forward. And then fold in at the last minute. Rolling up very slowly to switch sides. So the other foot comes to press on the inner thigh. Inhale, lift up and lengthen through the spine. Exhale to fold forward, leading with the chest. We'll end today's practice then in a seated posture. So Sukhasana or easy seat, just coming into a cross-legged position, softening the shoulders, extend up through the spine, propping yourself up on pillows if you need to, and just breathing here for as long as you have to stay. And I'll take this time then to thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed your short, sharp practice for today. And if you did, please subscribe to my channel and I'll see you next time. Thank you.